Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank the opportunity to participate in this initiative and today share our accomplishments. Let me see if it's moving. Okay. So the subject of our project is education, and I'm sharing a quote that explains the importance of education. And in the context of the Sustainable Development Goals, the goal 4, that's quality education, is key, it's central. If you have quality education to all, we would be more prepared to handle and work on all the other goals. So quality education is a key point that we need to work on. So that's where we're trying to make some contribution. So this is our lab. It's in Brazil. That's a picture of our university and a picture of one of our teams, some students that was taken in 2019 when we got together before the pandemic. And this is our project team. So Professor Marcos, our current director for the lab, Professor Sandra and myself, and some students for the graduate program in mathematics and statistics, and the students from the urban studies and regional. So we acknowledge the presence of some of our students here and our professors, and it's an interdisciplinary team. So have people from the statistics and also people from the public policy department of the university. So we work together to try to make some contributions for the education and planning for education in our state. So this is the outline of our presentation, talk about the motivation, what's the context of education in our state, Rio Grande do Norte, the role of statistics in education planning, how it can help to understand patterns, and our main product, that's our web application, our challenges, and our future plans. So this is a picture of our network, and we are located here in Brazil, the northeast part of Brazil, and this is our country and our state, Rio Grande do Norte. And now I will pass the word to our Professor Sandra, that she'll talk about the situation of education in our state.
Thank you, Carla. I'd like to say hello to everybody. And my name is Sandra Gomes. I'm a professor at the same university, Federal University of Rio Grande do Norte, in the northeast of Brazil. I would like to start congratulating Lisa for this initiative, which is being very interesting and productive. It was very interesting also to be able to do a partnership from public policy students and statistics students. I really would like to congratulate you on this initiative. I hope there is new editions of it. What I would like to say here very quickly is the context of education in the northeast of Brazil, in order to show the relevance, the importance of this web application that we are doing. Brazil is a country known for high levels of inequalities. And in education is exactly the same. Basically, since the return of democracy at the end of the 1980s, one of the main focus of different governments in Brazil is to try to reduce poverty and inequality, and education is a key aspect of it. At the beginning of the 1990s, virtually all education services were provided not by the federal government, but by local governments, in the case of Brazil, states or municipalities. And the lack of access to education in Brazil was really high. In the northeast of Brazil, where Rio Grande do Norte is located, only for you to have an idea, beginning of the 1990s, still almost 40% of the children from 7 to 14 years old was not going to school. This completely changed over the last 30 years, and now access is universal or virtually universal. Basically, this means that the amount of services and management capacities of municipalities, especially in Brazil, has grown a lot. The challenge nowadays is quality education more than access, and is in this specific aspect that we believe our web application is going to help. Because to manage local education now is really complex. It's not a simple thing anymore because of the amount of students, and also because quality demands information, what some like to say evidence-based, in order to make good informed decisions. So basically, we together with an association of education secretaries in our state, we developed this web application where municipalities can check on a series of indicators for education before before making a decision, being able to identify what is the situation, where are the challenges, and then have informed information. So, Carla, I think that might be enough to present the context. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So statistics can help in the education planning. So I saw an example. It was this UNESCO website that was updated last week, showing the importance of data to improve the quality of education. So not only in Brazil, in the state of Rio Grande do Norte, that you can contribute, this is something that is global, that you can help in this aspect. So can help to understand patterns. In our project, we focus mainly on plots, how to show in an easy format to the managers how are the patterns of the data, how is the education in the state. This is a summary of the process that we went through during the project. The first phase was to identify the database. So Brazil has data from education, but the question, the problem is that it's not in a easy access to everyone. So that's our main goal, to get the data that is available and put in a format that would be easily available to people who has the key role in education planning. So to do that, we have to do some data cleaning, and the main focus was the web application development. And after we have the first version, we sent this version to some of the potential users, so to get some feedback, and made some adjustment, and prepared some tutorial videos to show how to use the application. And this is publication from Professor Sandra and other colleagues that provides a diagnostic of the education situation in our state. So we based our web application on the data that was used to produce this publication. And our main product is the web application with educational indicators for the state. And we call this application Indica Edu RN. That's the web address that you can access the application. It's already available to everyone. The point that it's in Portuguese. And to shorten the presentation, not show the actual application, I put some screenshots. They'll talk about the application through these screenshots. So here is the warning message. As soon as you open the application, there is this warning message. And this came from the feedback that you had from the potential users. It's the way the application is made, it works well for a computer, a laptop or a desktop, but not for mobile phones. And our users were using with a mobile phone. So that's the warning that we included in our current version about this issue, because most of them wanted to use in a mobile phone. It works in a mobile, but it's not perfect, the visualization of the plots. So that's our first warning. And then this is our main screen. So it has 3 basic parts. It has information about learning, information about social and economic profile of the students, and information about the enrollments of the students. So these are the 3 main subjects that are handled by this application. And we have prepared 3 videos that will explain how to use the application and some examples of plots that you can get from the application. Here I'll show one of these examples. So this is related to learning of mathematics. This is in the capital of the state, Natal, where our university is located. And we can see that more than 50%, almost 7% of the students are in a level that's insufficient. So those here indicate insufficient level. So more than 70% of the students in the capital of the state have an insufficient level of mathematics. So these are something that we need to address. So these are data from 2016. And with the app, you can choose if it's a municipality of the state, which region that you'd like to show, and the year, several choices. And you can also download the plots and the data. We had some challenges for our project. The main one was the pandemic. We had to delay the beginning of the project. And we also would like to have, in the proposal, we plan to have a very close relationship with our partner, that is Undine, that's a union with managers of the education. But because of the pandemic and the way that we developed the project, this interaction was not close. So that's one of our challenges, that we had to change the way that we are handling the project. And another major issue for the project was the university regulations to handle money from outside. So we have to delay the start of the project for, say, years, because we didn't have access to the money. The money arrived at the university, but we had to fulfill many regulations. And we started at some point that we doubt that we would be able to use the funds. And I also like to thank our students, because they were very patient and they started the project even before we had access to be able to pay them. But at the end, everything worked out and they received the money. But it was one of our challenges. And the university is changing their policy to handle those type of projects. And we hope that the process will be easier for future projects for ourselves and for other people at the university. And our future plans, we have some to include these videos. The videos are ready, but they are not in the internet yet. We are going to create a YouTube channel for our lab, and this will be our first videos that will be available in our channel. And also we plan to have a workshop with our partner to formally introduce the application and have some advertisement, also a video that advertising our application, and also with our people from schools that would be potential users of this application. And I'd like to thank you, the LISA 2020 Network, USAID, for financing this project, and all our partners for collaborating in this effort. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing, Carla, and Sandra as well. Thank you for coming today and participating in this. Do people have questions for Carla? Questions or comments about the project?
Thank you so much for your presentation. It was a nice project and a nice team. And I want to ask about the web app. What did you use? Did you collaborate with some computer scientists to design the app? Did you use React or JavaScript or HTML? Or which kind of front end or back end tools did you use? Okay, thank you.
I am the programmer responsible for creating the web application. I'm also a statistician, and we learn R in our course. So I use that language. R has a package called Shiny, and Shiny is basically a solution to create native web applications using only R, but it can be extended to other languages, such as you mentioned, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS for the front end. So basically, it was a full stack job. We did both front end and back end by ourselves, and we used the server in our university to host the web application. Basically, it was that.
Just to
Oh.
complement what Wesley said, Shiny is a framework for web applications. So you can write, like this application you have, everything was written in R, and the Shiny package translates the R code into HTML and CSS. So we kind of just need to think about the back end, because the front end is almost automatically done by Shiny. You have to say, okay, here I want a menu, here I want my plot, here I want my table, but you don't need to write the code for the table in HTML. You write in R, like a summary or something like that, for those who are familiar with these commands. And Shiny automatically translates to some web language.
Excellent. That's a new learning curve for me. I never knew that R has so much great capabilities. I've seen Shiny, but I didn't know it could do such. Thank you for that great work. Thank you. Has it been launched? Okay.
Yeah, I want to point out, Marcus put the link to the webpage in the chat, so anyone can access the app through the link that he included there in the chat.
Great.
Hi, Marcus, it's a great work which you have done. I will request you, if it is possible for you to have one, global, you can say, webinar on this.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
On Shiny, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, where you can show, all these things. So that we also get, a feel of this, whatever you are saying, we will see it while doing.
Yeah, you can manage it. Sure. I already gave a short course on R in the past. Maybe Wesley, one of the students. Do you remember, Wesley? Were you one of my students that, like 4 or 5 years ago, that short course on Shiny?
Yeah, that was my first contact with the framework. Yeah, you'll have a presentation, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it was a presentation in our statistics week, I think 2018, 2017 maybe, and Wesley was one of the students, and now he learned the basics that time, and now he can make some very good apps. But we can talk about a global course, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That would be great.
I would like just to add that Professor Sandra reminds us that the app also shows maps, not only plots, but also maps that can be doing with R and Shine.
Yeah, everything you can do in R, you can translate to a Shiny app. So if you have, I don't know, some machine learning model to predict anything, you can make a front end to it and use in Shiny. So it's very resourceful.
That's good to know.
And
one of my student is working on machine learning, like lasso, support vector machine, random forest. I think I may need your help.
Sure. Were you saying something, Wesley?
Yeah, I was saying not only R that can be used to enhance the application, but also the package is developed using common standards for web programming. So basically, you can do a very fast app. You can have extended CSS features. you can basically create everything, even a site if you want, not necessarily just a web application. It's very resourceful, this package.
And our Lisa book, our edited Lisa book from past year, has chapter 26, if I'm not wrong, where one of my, I think Thiago, yeah, one of my past students, he wrote a chapter on Shiny app as well. So you can check it out if you want to know more about it.